Welcome to Black Renaissance. I'm your host, Kristen Ayers. Please pitch us show ideas and see archives of these and other segments on Facebook.com/Black Renaissance, KBCW-TV. We've got a wonderful show for you today. First up, we're going to speak with Sarah Allen and Kevin Epps of the Bay Area Black Journalists Association. We'll also have a conversation with the executive director of San Francisco's African American Arts and Cultural Center. And next, we'll talk to Regina Jackson, the president and CEO of the East Oakland Youth Development Center. Last, we'll get the scoop on how restaurant owner Derek Johnson is helping West Oakland residents, including ones on probation and parole, get back into the workforce. Let's welcome Sarah Allen and Kevin Epps of BABJA. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. BABJA, the Bay Area Black Journalists Association, such an important organization that I'm proud to be a part of as well. For people who aren't familiar with it, though, talk to me about what the Bay Area Black Journalists Association is and why it's important to have an organization like that here in the Bay Area.
Well, BABJA, the Bay Area Black Journalists Association, is a 501(c) nonprofit organization. It's set up to support other African American journalists and media professionals. It's important because initially it was founded to support other media professionals in this community to make sure that we could help network with getting jobs, helping with education, and setting up training so that we could continue to thrive in our field.
Absolutely, and it's so important to have diversity in, I mean, I know firsthand as a journalist, to have diversity in the newsroom. BABJA's been going strong for what, 30 years?
It was founded in 1982 by a few veteran journalists in this community, and those people that founded it felt that it was just something that needed to be done in order to support each other. And we actually have a few veterans that are famous, you know, Barbara Rogers, who we know very well.
Our own Barbara Rogers, former anchor at KPIX.
Yes, and we have the president of the National Association of Black Journalists is Bob Butler. He's based here. And then one of our first female African American journalists on the West Coast is Belva Davis, who's also supported us. So.
Absolutely. A lot of legendary names in this organization, a lot of history in its 30 years. We were talking a little bit earlier here just about what a pivotal time this is for Black journalists. We have all of the social unrest going on with Ferguson, the protests here in Oakland, in Berkeley, in San Francisco. And you talked about the importance of, you know, having those voices there and what BABJA is doing in particular. And Kevin, you guys are sort of working on having a voice in this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. BABJA right now is working on ways in which we can serve and become part of the national conversation about the disproportionate number of Black males who are losing their lives to police brutality and things like that. So we're, you know, putting together some programs that will create a forum to have those type of conversations.
And what does that include? Does that include just kind of giving a voice to some of the people who are covering this right now, hearing from the community on it? Are you still sort of figuring out how that will come together?
Yeah, I think just bringing in the community and all stakeholders, definitely, because I think it's a conversation that's long overdue when you think of the historical context, dealing with our community, and as it relates to media, the misrepresentation of those stories as it relates to our story. So I think it's important that we partake in that conversation and let our voice be heard through this medium.
Absolutely. And Sarah, when we talk about diversity in the newsroom, it's really tough to gauge sometimes how effective it is. You can have a diversity of on-air people who are working and maybe not necessarily have the diverse management to back it up. So how do you gauge how far we've come along in that process?
Well, from doing some research and talking to some of the people that have come before us, I think that we still have a long way to go. And that's why this organization continues to exist, because it's going to be an ongoing conversation. We need to start from the student level, training them while they're in school, providing scholarships, which is something that we've been known to do for at least the last over 20 years. We've been able to support students with over $65,000 in scholarships. That's going to pave the way so that they can get the jobs and eventually, hopefully, move up into management so that we can see more faces like ours, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera.
Okay, and you guys are doing great work. You've got a mixer coming up soon?
We're planning a mixer in Oakland at Pecan. We're also working on getting together some networking events and trainings for students and media professionals. We always end the year with our annual scholarship luncheon. Throughout the year, we'll be working on what our schedule is, and we always make sure we let everyone know what we're doing.
Okay, keep up the good work. Such a pleasure to have you, Sarah and Kevin. For more information about the Bay Area Black Journalists Association, you can go to babja.org. That's BABJA.org. We'll be back with more Black Renaissance after this break.